Welcome back, sewists. Today I'm going to show you some updates that have happened in the sewing room and also some updates that are going to happen on the channel. So, sewing room's a bit of a mess. I don't know if you can see, there's a ladder back there. There's somebody's 3D printer. I have got piles of fabrics all around. I have a chaos kitty right here, my sewing overlord, as I like to say. So, I'm just going to tell you some of the things that I've added to the sewing room to make life easier and or more beautiful, and some things that I'm doing with the channel. So let's start with a quick little renovation that I did on this cutting table right here. I refurbished it. It had a wheel missing and more, so let me show you some close-ups of that, and then we'll be back to talk about some other things. Here's the before. This is my second cutting table, or my original cutting table. It has got to be 25 to 30 years old. It's very, very old. And it is not well cared for. My husband used it to cut insulation on. I let my son use it for some of his projects. And this is resin that is set up and I cannot get off. And it also has one broken wheel on this back leaf here, which I'm hoping to fix. This back leaf wheel support is broken, so I did buy a wheel. But we're going to start by seeing if I can put new, it is countertop contact paper, if we can put that on and at least get a few more years out of this cutting table. Okay, these are the replacement wheels that I bought. You could buy them with or without the brake. It was like $1 difference, so I went ahead and got the ones with the brake. And I just measured to make sure they were the same as is already on there. So I'm going to try and just slip this on this back side. And you can see this side of the cabinet is in better shape because the support was broken. They couldn't be lifted up to use for resin work. So I'm going to try and get this on real quick. You can see the support with no wheel in it. Well, I bought two sizes. One's a little smaller than the other. I definitely need the bigger one. However, these do not screw in. And my wheels do, and it will not go into the little hole. So, gotta order the exact same wheel with a different shank that screws in. I hope they still make it. This is a pretty elderly table. Okay, well, the wheel doesn't work, but I'm going to go ahead and try and apply my first round of contact paper. This has a slight wood grain, and I ordered it so that it is exactly the width of the table, and I'm just going to have a little bit to wrap around on each edge, and hopefully that will work. I will have to cut the top, of course, is going to have to get cut exactly, but for the two flaps, it should work great. So I'm going to attempt to apply it now and keep it straight. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm starting with the corner and I'm getting it nice and straight with this edge, and I'm just gently working down, smoothing as I go. It's really easy to get a bubble under it. And then this is going to wrap to the back, hopefully, just to give me a nice smooth edge. I cut it just a couple inches longer on each side, but this is exactly the same length this way, so hopefully it'll give a nice finish. I'm starting with the least damaged side first, and this is also the side with the broken wheel. So after this, I can stand it up, and I think I might open up the other side and do it standing instead of having to bend over and do it this way. All right, side one. Is it perfect? No, and I actually got it just slightly crooked, but I can live with that. It's not sticking great around the corner, so I may end up just cutting it even with the edge. That's for later. It took me 5 minutes maybe, You just kind of working at the angle helps, and then smoothing as you go. You do get some air bubbles. It's forgiving enough to let you lift up and lay it back down. Now we'll see if it's as forgiving when I get to the other side that has some of that resin. I expect there to be some bumpier surface areas. This one, you can't see anything. It's just big white space, but it looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna stand it up and do the next side. Imperfections, and that's because it has the resin underneath that's just making problems. But you can see I have little bubbles and they do push out. If it's a really big bubble, you can lift up. It's forgiving enough to let you lift up and smooth it out. So this has a giant lump under it. I don't really care. I'm not worried about it being a showpiece. I'm worried about it being safe for me to lay fabric on so I can use it for fabric again, because I really could use a second cutting table, especially with a long piece of fabric. When I have that one set up, it's nice to have two, one to support the weight of the fabric. So, and here's how this one looks on the back side. I haven't actually tried sticking down this. It doesn't stick that great, but I haven't really put any muscle in it either. So I'm gonna do that for these, and then I'm gonna try and cut this one as close as possible, and then I'll probably take an X-Acto knife to get it just right for this middle one. I'll drop the leaf down. You can see the imperfections, but it would be safe for my fabric, which is really my only concern. And it's definitely, this is so much better than this. And it's a lot cheaper than the $300 or $400 that a new cutting table would be. I'll put the price at the end, what both pieces, the wheels, which I was able to order another set of wheels, so when this video goes up, you'll see me put the new wheel in, and what the contact paper cost. And, you know, not even 30 minutes a time. So here's my top piece I measured and cut, and I'm just making sure it's right before I start peeling the backing and applying it. This one's a little more tricky in some ways and easier in others. So we'll see how it goes. This surface right here is quite bad, and I know I'm going to have some bubbles underneath. I don't want it to show too much through my white. That's my biggest concern, is that it's still going to look dirty through the white. So hopefully this takes care of it. Okay, this one's the easiest because it's just a smaller piece to deal with. Yay, I'm just gonna have to do a little trimming on that edge. And that's how it looks. Here's my little bubbles, but honestly it doesn't look too bad, and it will protect my fabric, so quite happy. I'm just going to trim this edge, get an X-Acto knife out and trim that off, and might end up doing that for all of these because I just don't think it's going to stick well. I don't want my fabric to catch it and pull it up. in, they look very much like the really old wheels. This one's very bent. I don't know if I can get it off. I may have to have my husband help me with that. It does function. It's just damaged in the move. It got hit and bent when we moved. So if I can get it off, these came in a set of 4. So I can definitely replace it. All right, this may be a two-handed job, but there you can see the screw in. I'll be back in a second. Looky there, I have a repaired wheel. Now I can lift up both sides, both leaves of this. It's not perfect. This in particular is quite bad, but I could not get it off. So it won't catch on the fabric, which is the main thing. And it is usable. I mostly will use this as an accessory to my a little bit taller one to support the weights of the fabrics, to lay out pattern pieces before I move them over, that sort of thing. But it's really nice to have a second one, and it no longer looks disgusting. And I will have to put up the cost. I want to say it was about $35 for this, and then maybe $8 for the wheels. So a lot less expensive than I think the cheapest you can get a cutting table right now is around $250. All right, I am very happy with how that turned out. And for the price, could not ask for anything better, other than for it not to have gotten ruined in the first place. But I'm happy. Happy with my pretty fast and pretty inexpensive fix. Okay, this is the newest thing that I've just added to my sewing room. I'm getting ready to make sure that it's set up properly, and it is a short throw projector. I don't have it fine-tuned yet. I've literally just set it up and turned it on. I did hang it myself and get that taken care of. The other projector has been handed down. It was not a short throw, and I always struggled with distortion on it, so I'm really hopeful that this is going to fix it. Another new thing is I've updated my tripod, and I have a new little view thing that sits above the camera. I still have to watch it because I get a few people, hardly anyone, but I have a couple who just every single video will comment, I'm not looking directly into the camera, which I have to say is a bit of an issue when you're doing a project. And this is what I was using. The ring light works fine, and I'm going to continue to use the ring light, but this ring light would interact with the display up here or anything else, cameras or microphones or anything. So switching to a more sturdy, but in some ways more basic tripod, I really like it. It has a good gimbal, so I can really get it organized. So that's another new thing that I have added. I'm going to climb up here and turn this off real quick because I'm not ready to mess with it. I mentioned a while back that I really wanted to get a cordless iron, and I finally did. I didn't get the Rowenta. I considered it. This one was a third of the price and had amazing reviews. And I really do like not having the cord. My biggest issue with it is getting it lined up on its base. And if you've used cordless before, you may know this. Every time you press, you immediately hang it back up because it loses its charge. It won't heat as long. But I've not had any issues with it. Like, it steams great, it works great. I'm really pleased with it. So there's my new cordless iron. Very happy with that. I don't know if I've ever shown this. A long time ago, was working on a project using my ham, and it kept falling over. And this is a football tee that I bought to hold my ham. And it works great. You can hold it in lots of different directions. It was like $6. I really wanted a different, when I ordered it, I thought I was getting a different color. It shipped whatever it shipped, and I got orange, but it still functions. So there's my little football tee ham holder. Here is another thing that you probably will not see on camera, but I'm going to share with you. My sister gave me this beautiful page out of a magazine, a French magazine. I don't know. This is definitely Edwardian looking era. It looks like the Belle Epoque. You can look at the hair, look at the bust line shape. Very beautiful. These would have been, I'm assuming, nightgowns. I could be wrong because I know there was a period where the white dress was very in for daytime walking and things like that. So anyway, I'm pretty sure this is a nightgown, and the main thing is the blue ribbon, but I could be wrong about that. It's double-sided. This is the side that I have displayed. For a while, I had it in a frame that you could flip and see both sides. That frame broke, and I've just stuck it in this. I have just used a piece of lace around the outer edge, but it's not affixed with anything, so you can see it kind of slides down. It is what I don't want to put anything on it. I'm trying to protect it. You can see here's the artist. These are the model numbers. Here's model 113. Atelier. I can't see Bachmann, perhaps. But it has Paris, London, Brussels, New York, and Vienne. Anyway, beautiful piece. My sister gave it to me. For 7 years, I have one box of my favorite artwork that was missing. This was in it. I had a beautiful painting my grandmother gave me that was in it. My parents' 50th wedding anniversary portrait was in it. There, some of my children's portraits, and it's been gone. I never found it the entire time we lived in Kansas, and literally found it about 2 weeks ago when my husband cleaned out the garage. We redid our garage floor, and it appeared from nowhere. I never saw it. I also found part of an exercise machine that's been missing since we moved here too. So it's been more than 7 years. It's been almost 10 years that I've had the box missing, because it was missing the entire time we were in Kansas and the entire time we've been back in Oklahoma. Anyway, super happy to have this back and have it on my wall. Today's project, in between working on video stuff, I am making myself a silk pillowcase. I'm doing French seam, so you can see I've got the right side or the charmeuse side showing. And I bought this because it matches sort of our bedroom. It's a lovely steel gray. I may have to order more of this for a blouse. It's stunning. And I bought it because I already had silk thread that matched it. So I was like, look, I've got the thread, which is harder to get than the fabric. And so I matched my fabric to my thread instead of the other way around. But one pillowcase with beautiful French seams coming up. Next time I make one, I'm going to do the kind that has the little fold-over flap like this. I think I'll do that the next go-round, but I do love my new silk pillowcase. So that's some of the stuff that's been happening in the sewing room. You can actually see the projector right up there now in the back of the videos. So let's talk about channel things. I've recently set up channel memberships, and the whole reason behind that is so that we can have more personal content with a smaller group. I want to do where we watch fashion shows together and similar, or other things, other content. There's some really great fashion type documentaries, or even some historic things that I think would be really great to discuss together. We may do a couple books where we all read the book and have some discussions. There's quite a few. All of these things will be open for people who choose to be members to vote on, so you can choose kind of what the content is coming up. I'm also going to have potentially where the members will help choose some of the content for the videos that are non-members, that are out there for the whole world to see. So that's part of what memberships will be. When I'm ready to go up, I will put up a full video when I'm ready, which I'm hoping will be soon. So anyway, I'm working on that for the memberships, and that's coming soon. So I'm just giving you a little heads up to be looking for that. I wanted to get it done in August, and I think what's happening is August is me getting all of the rest of the work done for it, and we may open it up in September. I'll let you know. But that is coming. I have some large projects that I have been kind of putting off, partly for weather, because one of them I really need to do, I'm going to do some silk painting, and I really don't like to do that in the house. It's a little bit messy and sometimes it drips through. I don't want to do that in my house. So I'm waiting for the weather to give me a reprieve so I can work outside. So that may be an autumn, almost winter project depending on our weather here. But I have all of the supplies now. So I have got a huge box of fabric paints and fabric swatches to work with. So that's coming. I have got so much fabric. I took a trip to Portugal and bought fabric. I've done some online shopping. So I am really trying to sew up some of this stash or cull it. I have about 9 bins of large pieces of scraps. I found somebody who likes some of my scraps for their projects because they work in miniature, and so I have been just gifting to them as I cull through my stuff, but I have got to work on that. It's not real obvious in this shot, but right back here I have got 5 bins of fabrics that are kind of organized by project. I also have 2 bins over here that you can't see. I have some behind the camera over here that you can't see. And then the closet back there, there's a closet. It is full of fabric that is uncut for the most part. And then I have 2 big bins of scraps. My problem is I have large scraps and I hate to toss them. It's expensive to recycle them, which I think I probably am going to do some more recycling. I'm working on that. That is a frustrating thing. I may have one video of me just pulling everything out. I did this a while back and culling through, organizing. You know, it's like a 30-minute video, but for me, it's like 3 or 4 days worth of organizing and figuring it out. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But it definitely is a mental block for me. I don't work in clutter and it really frustrates me. So I got to figure that out. I also have my vintage garment I brought back from California that I'm going to work on. I have got part of the supplies bought for that. There's one more. I need to get some pure silk netting or tulle. So that I found on Mood. So I'm going to order that. I also am traveling again because I have kids out of state and I got to visit my kiddos. So all of that is coming up for this season. I definitely am planning on, I've got fabric here to make more scrubs hats, so I'm going to be making some scrub hats, which I won't be doing on camera. I have 3 pieces of really cool sequin fabric. I bought 1 satin that will match 2 of them, so I'm going to work with that. I just want to get them made and have them ready when the holiday season comes up. I'll already have them made. I'm very excited about those projects. They're going to be fun. I haven't 100% decided on the pattern. I'm also going to do some pattern making, which is why I want to get that projector up. I'm going to be tracing some patterns, but I'm also going to be doing some custom pattern making, which I think I'm going to be doing for those sequins. So all of that is coming, and I promised almost a year ago to show how to alter that cocoon coat pattern, and that's also on I have a list. I have a list longer than my lifetime of things that I'm interested in and ideas. So all of that's coming up. I love it when you guys give me ideas because you guys think about things I don't. I keep a list of viewer suggestions. So if you have a suggestion, something I said in the past and I've completely forgotten about, or something that you're noticing that's missing in content, if there's something that you would like to see, please drop a comment and give me a heads up, and we will get back to sewing hopefully next week or the week after, depending on if I decide to do my cleanup on camera or if I decide to put it off and get back to creating, because I love to sew. That's the fun part. So either way, we'll see what happens next week. Thanks for hanging out and seeing some of my fun updates. If I show something that's available, I usually will put a link to it in the description. I also have my little Amazon shop. I potentially could earn a small commission from that. I never have, but it's always an option. So those will be listed below. Either way, it's easy for you. If you really like something I show and you want to grab it, it will be listed in the description. And I'll see you next week for another fun video. If you found this video helpful, informative, or just entertaining, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and maybe giving me a hype. My chair is loud. I need to oil my chair. I have to sit very still.